Hi guys. Here we are already week 5 of reading and discussion for our spring session. I am your Professor Stephen Hoag, and we'll be walking through Unit 3 for our Q skills today. First, just a quick run through the PowerPoint that remind you of things. Our textbooks, you should all be signed up for. No problems with your online work. Don't forget to write down your username and password because I do not have that information. We are not doing an online classroom to save you some work. So it's self-study only. So make sure that you have your own information. It sounds like one or two students have forgotten their username already and they're waiting to hear back from the good people at Oxford. Doesn't mean it's an overnight process. So be careful to write down your username and password, access code if you need to, somewhere safe. The audio listening practice, you should have all the audio tracks downloaded so that you can be practicing at the same rate as your Q skills so you don't fall behind. The Zoom meetings occur the same time each week. I'm sure that you all have your calendar prepared so that nobody's missing the Zoom meetings. We are starting, like we've already started, but we are going to be looking at Unit 2 answers later this week, either Wednesday or Thursday, depending on your class, to give you further examples and textbook sample answers to the questions so that you can better prepare for the final test. If you haven't already saved the Zoom link, you can always go to Edmodo, scroll down the wall. I've left it there, pinned to the wall so that you can follow the link from there. But I would suggest saving that link into your browser history or favorites or whatever it is so that you can access it easily. Not on your phone, hopefully, but on your desktop. But again, you can go to Edmodo and scroll down to the link and follow it from there. Today we'll be looking at Unit 3, and Unit 3 starts on page 54. I'm going to give you the instructions how to post once you're finished today or tomorrow. Again, if you have questions, I would send a private message using Edmodo first. That would be the quickest option. I have a lot of emails from a lot of different classes. Anyway, the quickest thing to use is Edmodo because all of you by now should be have your Edmodo tag. Okay, your name should display as well as your student number. So all you have to do is tell me at the start of your message your class number. Okay, reading and discussion 5 or 20 or what's the other one? 11, I believe. Anyway, one of those three. I've got 3 classes. So if you tell me your class number, I can easily find your name in my grade book. Okay, in my paper grade book, which I try to keep copies of everything that you're doing, alright, as well as find you quickly in Edmodo. So yes, please remember to include your class number when you message me. And again, a reminder, I do not grade anything that you send me by email. Okay, it has to go through Edmodo. That's what it's for. The platform is helpful in keeping evidence of all of your work and all of the times that you submit your work. So I'm not going to be confusing things by, um, uh, grading anything outside of our Edmodo platform. You've had weeks to get used to it, so there shouldn't be a problem with any submissions. Okay, hold on, I'm going to make the screen a little bit easier to see. Okay, so hopefully that's a little bit easier. That should be fine. So here we have a picture of someone carrying their child who has a nice cell phone. Which is kind of a modern day picture. Unit 3 is called Information Technology, and we'll be looking at identifying advantages and disadvantages. Okay, another thing we'll be discussing is taking notes, as in our reading section. Vocabulary covers some synonyms, which are similar words with similar meanings. And there's a writing section which includes a summary and personal response paragraph probably, and a grammar section that explains parallel structures. Again, we won't be spending a lot of time on the writing, but it's an optional exercise if you care to improve your writing skills and send me some extra work that you would appreciate being counted as, more effort in case of a tie with another student. Anyway, I've talked about that before. It is optional, but I'll point out the sections where you don't need to continue if you are crushed for time. The unit question, just get over here. How has technology affected our lives? And there are 3 questions. Some of you are skipping the last time. I'm not sure why, but remember, we want to start right at the top, and you can always use your trusty Post-its or some note pages, or even if you have a notebook, a full-size notebook, you can take pictures. Just remember to write the page number and the exercise number before your question or your answer. How do you use technology in your daily life? That's a pretty general question, but it is a good opinion question if you consider how do you use, not how often, but how do you use it. Think about this: if you had no electricity, no batteries, no Wi-Fi, no whatever, how many things would you still accomplish without your tools, your technological tools? Think about all the different ways, and tell me in a sentence or 2 or 3 if you like, how you can use it. Maybe use it in a very different way than others. But number 2, it says look at the photo. We just saw it. What kind of technology is the child using, and what is she doing? So that's a girl. The child is a girl in the basket. What is she doing? Well, I guess that might be a guess, but you can have a pretty educated guess, right? We're going to listen to the Q Classroom online and answer these questions. Okay, so the first question, Sophie says technology has helped her keep in touch with her friends. What example, singular, does she give? Do you agree that technology helps you keep in touch? Why or why not? Okay, so keep in touch just basically means stay in communication with. Sophie, Yuna, Felix, and Marcus find it hard to imagine life without technology. Do you feel the same way? Can you give an example? So let's have a listen.
Unit 3, Information Technology, the Q Classroom.
Okay, today we'll discuss the Unit 3 question, how has technology affected our lives? Let's start with Sophie.
Oh, with my cell phone, I can text and send pictures to my friends anytime. So it's kind of like my friends are always with me, even when we're far away from each other. For me, the way I can keep in touch with everyone is the best part of technology.
How about you, Una? How has technology affected your life?
I do everything on my computer. Take notes, study, watch movies, talk to friends, play games.
It's kind of hard to imagine life before computers, isn't it? Felix, what do you think? How has technology affected your life?
I feel the same as Sophie and Yuna, and technology has also affected my music a lot. I use a computer program to record and edit my songs. I used to just play the guitar and make a recording, and I didn't have the control I do now. I wasn't able to share my music with my friends so easily. Now, just about every field is different because of technology.
Right. Marcus, can you think of other technologies besides the computer and the cell phone that have affected your life?
Medical technology. My father has a pacemaker. If he didn't have it, he might not be alive, so that's the most important technology to me.
Okay. So consider the questions that we just talked about earlier. There's an online discussion board. That's not part of our class because we're not doing the extra work, online classroom. The unit objective is to read the articles, gather information and ideas to write a summary and a personal response paragraph about how technology has affected our lives. All right. So the first reading is called Cars That Think. And we're going to read an article from an automotive magazine about driverless cars. Okay, so you can automatically assume that it's talking about there are no drivers. To preview, you can read the main title and the first sentence of each paragraph. Cars that think, and the first sentence of each paragraph. Thanks to modern technology, humans have less to do. Cars today already think for us. Driverless cars use a lot of the same technological features to make hands-free driving possible. According to car manufacturers, the benefits of hands-free are significant. Furthermore, although driverless cars sound perfect, there are limitations. In the end, consumers will decide if driverless cars are to become the cars of the future. So, just with that small bit of information, go back here. All right. Which do you think is the article's main purpose? So you can check one of these three boxes. There's a quick write. Again, I don't think you need to put in 10 minutes considering the answer. Just write maybe 2 or 3 might do the trick. Sentences. Would you feel comfortable in a driverless car? Why or why not? Okay. So this is not a yes and no kind of answer. When they say why or why not, they're looking for reasons. So you should be able to explain yourself in full sentences, please. Vocabulary. Check the words you know and work. Use the clues to help define the words you don't know, but I would just say just use the dictionary for those that you don't. Some of you were writing down translations in Korean or your native language, which is fine. This is just a vocabulary box. Whatever helps you the most, okay, that's fine. I won't take points away for your Korean translations for vocabulary, but you must answer the discussion questions and the other activities using English words only. Okay, so anyway, let's just work through these. I'll just gonna talk out loud for a second. We have data, which is a noun. Limitation, manufacturer. Obey, obstacle, occur, respond, sense, and a phrasal verb, a noun phrasal, the benefits of. Okay, and again, you can probably do some every time you see this icon. There's a little bit of practice online to help you with that. Let's go. If you go through the reading, you'll notice there are some footnotes, okay, to give you further definition of any words or vocabulary that you're not sure of. And then we get to a vocabulary exercise where you need to complete each sentence with the vocabulary from the first article. Okay, so we're given a few words here. Where do they belong? Even though cars have headlights, accidents are more likely to occur. Which word would fit there? At night, because drivers can't see well. So I don't want to give you all the answers, but maybe I gave you one. Occur. This continues over here. There's some practice after the vocabulary practice online. Then we have some identification exercises where you have to read the sentences 1 to 5, number them in the order that the ideas appear in the article. Okay, so which of these occur first as an idea in the article? Okay, it might be this is number 1, it might be this is number 1, who knows? And then you go through the article and find where they belong in the consecutive order. Okay. Interpret. What is the main idea of the article? So which one of those is basically the topic sentence or the main idea? Explain. Write the paragraph number where the answer is found. Okay, after you've answered the question. So how would driverless cars save fuel? How would they? They can be lighter because they're less likely to crash. That was explained in paragraph 4. Okay, so you need the paragraph number after you've answered the question. Categorize, fact or opinion. So some of these are honest-to-God facts, okay, which means they are scientifically, rigorously non-debatable. Okay, others are opinions, which mean that people might have different ideas of the statement or the question or the comment. All right, so you might say, you know, Earth has gravity. Well, that's been scientifically proven. And if we didn't have gravity, we'd be floating off into space. So I'm pretty sure it's working for us, that idea, as a fact. Okay? But you could also say, I don't know, Albert Einstein was not very smart. You could say that. Okay? Some people would disagree. And others might agree with you, and the fact is that it's an opinion. So everyone is allowed a different opinion, dependent on how they feel about certain subjects or certain facts, or how they may not agree with certain people or whatever else. So yeah, fact or opinion. F or O. Critical thinking. There is a strategy to identify advantages and disadvantages. It's important to identify the advantages and the disadvantages, okay, the good things and the bad things of a topic as you read. Using a chart to help you organize ideas into advantages and disadvantages is helpful. It will help you to compare and evaluate those ideas better when writing, and they can also help keep you informed. An informed opinion, okay, have a more valued research model about the topic. So you can categorize things using a graphic organizer. Advantages of driverless cars and disadvantages of driverless cars. So you can complete this in your own words. Find the advantages and disadvantages as stated in the article. You can have a quick couple or a few sentences that discuss how these advantages might affect our possible transport means in the future. Okay, there's some more field practice online. Write what you think on page 62. Here's a couple of discussion questions. I'd like to see all of your discussion questions finished in full sentences. Why do you think car companies want to make driverless cars? And number 2, compare and evaluate advantages and disadvantages of driverless cars, which you've already kind of done with your graphic organizer. So you can make a couple sentences. Would you consider buying a driverless car? That's a follow-up question. Why or why not? Would you consider buying a driverless car? Why or why not? So it's not a yes or no. You'll need to state a reason. Remember, this is a composition, so you don't need to write an entire paragraph. It says choose one of the questions and write a paragraph. I think as long as you've answered these questions, B is kind of part of it. Okay, if you've got answers for both, that means you've reflected on both. Taking notes. Wow, if you haven't already thought about this through your scholastic career, meaning your school life, then you might be feeling a little bit behind. Taking notes is definitely a very useful skill to have, not just inside school, but outside of school as well. Taking notes while you are reading will help you become a more active reader. To take notes, write on the text and next to the text. You can also, of course, some students use different colors of highlighters for language classes. Maybe yellow represents verbs, purple represents nouns, orange represents adjectives they're not familiar with or they want to spend more time with, that kind of thing. You can use different colors to signify different grammatical functions. You can actually write down notes on the side as well. I think I've told you that these textbooks are for you to mark up as much as you'd like. You can also take a look for main ideas, supporting details, topic sentences, whatever you'd like. Underlining supporting details. They give you a few clues, but whatever system works for you is best. But they do ask you to do a little bit of work. Read the second paragraph of reading 1. Look at the student's notes in blue. What type of words did the student underline? What kinds of words? What type of words? Look at the words and the ideas the student did not underline. Why are they less important? Okay, so you might be able to come up with your own ideas, giving it a few minutes. Look at the note in the margin. What does the note summarize? Okay, so the last page, we had a note in the margin, and this is the margin, okay, beside the text. Smart cars think for us. What does that mean? What is the main idea of the paragraph, and how do you know? Okay. You know what? I think you'll be okay. You can leave out this one, restate. I think that's enough work on taking notes, because everyone's going to have a different system, whatever works best for you. All right. So you don't need to adhere to this one system. This is just an exercise on an example student who's got their own system. You might have a system that works better for you. So I'm not going to dwell on just one system. Reading 2, don't forget your IQ practice online. Reading 2 is called Classrooms Without Walls. And this is an article, a newspaper article, about using tablet computers in schools. So you can preview, read the title, look at the photographs, then read the first sentence of each paragraph. Oops. Okay, we got the title, Classroom Without Walls, and we've got a picture here of a student with a tablet. Another picture of someone using a phone or tablet, looks like a phone actually, to take a photo of a textbook, I think. And that says, read the first sentence of each paragraph. Ali and his classmates, okay, Ali is a boy's name, sit next to each other in an 8th grade science class in Saudi Arabia. Okay, so that's Junhakyo, grade, middle school is 7, 8, 9 generally. In the US, young students are learning about world geography not through maps, but through real people online. Next it says, in today's world, tablet computers are revolutionizing education. We've got another one. Why are more and more educators in favor of tablet education? As an example, students in a history class in the United Arab Emirates are using an app to discover and rebuild an ancient city. Any more? Yeah. The next first sentence. Another advantage of tablet education is that learning is more interactive. Excuse me. Studies have shown that having tablets in the classroom can improve students' test scores. Still, no technology is perfect. For teachers, another disadvantage is that students can get easily distracted on their tablets. How can these kinds of problems be solved? Okay, and then they show you some references from real journals, and they give you a few more footnotes. Okay. I'll go back here if I can. Yeah. Oh, that didn't work. Alright, there we go. Okay. We were on this page. Alright, so going through all that, what do you think the title means by Classroom Without Walls? So you should have a pretty good idea after all of those topic sentences or near to topic sentences from each paragraph. Quick write. Do you think computers help children learn better? Why or why not? You don't need to write for 10 minutes because some of you might be able to write 3 or 4 paragraphs by then, but you certainly could write at least a couple sentences that show your understanding of the question and your reason. Vocabulary. Again, I'll just go through this list with you because there is some more practice online. Adapt, digital, discover, feedback, global, in favor of, interactive, monitor, reliable, and revolutionize. Okay. Those are all found in reading 2. Another vocabulary exercise. Here we have bold words. We've done this before. That you read the sentence and you find the definition below and write down the letter next to the number where it belongs. After you've done that, the next page, 67, is taking notes. Take notes on the main ideas. Write the number of the paragraph. So you don't need to take any more notes than you already have. What they're asking you is write the number of the paragraph that each statement summarizes. So a summary is just a concise, a very short summary is something that sums up or makes very small and concise what the paragraph is about. Okay, so basically like a headline or a subheading would be a summary that explains the paragraph. So you can write down, there's an example here, paragraph 7 talks about tablet computers may improve student scores on reading and math exams. So go through the rest of those. And then categorize with true or false. If there's a false statement, you need to write down what is wrong with the sentence. You have to make that sentence correct. We've done that before as well. Identify. Read the sentences from the last article and answer the questions. Find the sentences in the reading to help you. So when they need help, okay, here again we're looking for pronouns and we're trying to identify what the pronoun is standing in for, what it symbolizes, what words or word or words that it means or it is describing. Okay, so we have an indicative pronoun we need to reference. Okay, we've done that before as well. F is evaluate. Underline the words that show the author's tone. Okay, how does the author feel about the topic? Then circle the best description of the tone. So number 1, here's an example. They watch them, they hear them, and the places feel much more real than maps ever would. So does this underlined sentence, okay, this is describing the author's tone, the author's feeling. The places feel much more real than maps ever would. Okay, is that approving or disapproving? That is an approving tone. Okay, that means he is saying this is better than a map. Okay, and he's using maybe a little bit of an emotional tone, an approving tone in his writing to indicate that when children watch videos, hear the videos, the geography comes alive, that kind of thing. So he's using an approving tone. So as you go through these, reading them, maybe try practicing, say them out loud, and what kind of words poke out that are kind of challenging you to think about them, okay, either in a critical way or a factual way for number 2. Number facts is something that is dead on science, okay? And critical is more of a, how would you say, educated. Doesn't really mean theorizing, but to think a bit deeper. Idealistic and realistic. You're going to have to use your dictionary if you're not sure about some of these words, but we will be talking about the answers. Try your best, okay, because these are all this is kind of an important exercise if you would like to improve some of your deeper understanding of English. Compose. You don't need to show me 5 to 8 sentences, but give me your opinion. Do you believe tablets should replace books in schools? Okay, what is your answer? What do you think? That's an opinion. So show me you understand the question well enough to answer it. There's an extension here. Discuss these questions. Some people believe tablets can cause children to become addicted to technology. Do you agree? Why or why not? So actually, we have, me and my wife, our daughter is a year and a half this week, I suppose. She gets a little bit of screen time. I mean, we played music for her all day, but we don't let her touch our cell phones. We don't let her touch a tablet. We have a TV for her to watch nature videos sometimes, and some preschool videos for numbers and letters, but she's not allowed to touch anything herself, like her own phone or a tablet for herself, because she's just too young. Most pediatricians or baby doctors would agree that children under 2 or 3 even should not have their own phone or anything. But other parents disagree. Some people think that it's they're going to be exposed to screen time for the rest of their lives. They might as well get used to it. I'm not sure about the addiction part, but I've read some reports that children can become maybe hypersensitive to having a constant flow of imagery. We just think that books are better at her age. Children, it might be a reference point for many of your answers. How old is a child? I mean, my baby is still, just a toddler. So children it might be a difference of age in your opinion and your answer. You might have some agreement with me or some disagreement. That's fine. It's an opinion question. You can show me what you think about that one in a few sentences. What job would you like to have in the future? Do you think you will need a strong computer? Do you think you will need strong computer and technology skills to perform this job? So, for instance, if you plan on being an astronaut, there's a good chance you'll need some strong computer skills and some technology skills as well. Other jobs, maybe as a chef, you might need to have some idea of how to work things around the kitchen. Sure. Do you need as many computer skills as you need, gastrointestinal wherewithal? It's a different kind of job with a different skill requirement. You can write down what your dream job is, and do you think that you're going to need to be a lifelong learner of technology to keep up with that job? Work with the video. So, do computer programs and applications affect your daily life? How? You can write that answer quite quickly. I'm sure you've already thought of it through this unit. We're going to watch a video about algorithms, and then we're going to answer these questions. Okay, so let me pop the video on first.
Day by day, hidden from sight, A growing set of mathematical formulae are changing our world. More and more, aspects of how we live and work are being determined by algorithms. An algorithm is a formula or a set of step-by-step instructions used to solve a particular problem. Algorithms always have an input, a set of definite rules, and a clear endpoint. For example, when credit card details are entered online, the Loon algorithm checks that they're correct. The input is the account number. Next, the number is reversed. Then, every second number is doubled. Next, 9 is subtracted from any number now greater than 9. And the last step is to add all the final numbers together. If the total is a figure divisible by 10, the output confirms that the details are likely to be correct and the transaction continues. Algorithms are not only helpful for shopping, they also stop cars from skidding and keep life support machines running in hospitals. But algorithms are also increasingly modifying patterns of human behavior. When you're online, it's algorithms that allow adverts to tempt you with personalized products. And if you make a purchase, algorithms give the courier the best route to deliver your goods. Complex algorithms even make decisions for financial markets, buying and selling shares in attempts to maximize profit. In 2010, America's biggest single-day market decline was caused by a wayward computer algorithm. The markets did recover from the chaos, but some people think these hidden formulae are becoming too powerful and might one day take over more than we would like.
Okay, it says you can watch it 2 or 3 times, whatever you'd like to answer these questions. There's an extension discussion question. You don't need 5 to 8 sentences, but you could have a couple or 3. Do you see ads targeted at you on the social media sites that you use? Do you think algorithms such as these can have negative consequences? So, yeah, there are people that maybe you left a bit of information online over the years. There's probably a few algorithms out for you, whether you like it or not. So, anything from Facebook to, I don't know, a million platforms. They might have content, especially commercial content, that is targeting you and people like you, age group, demographic, whatever it is, and tailored by the decisions that you make in your internet search or anything close to it. Do you think that these algorithms that are tracing your online activity have negative consequences? So again, not just yes or no, you should give a reason. Something to think about. Very important nowadays. There's another Write What You Think. This is a synthesized reading 1-2 in the video that we just watched. Choose one question, write a paragraph. Actually, I think you could probably choose both and just write a couple sentences that show me that you understand the question. How much control should people have over the technology they use? Why? Okay. And what positive and negative effects can technology have on people's lives? Okay. So both are good questions that you can consider. Show me that you understand the question and that you can maybe give a proper reason or an example or more. Remember, the more time you spend on this, you're going to be also improving your writing skills and your critical thinking skills. The vocabulary skill on page 70 goes through synonyms. Synonyms, of course, are words with similar meanings. So you can add variety to your writing, which makes you seem a lot more scholastic. Okay, if you're looking for an educated essay, I remember for my master's thesis that was a very big point, was having a wide range of vocabulary. So you don't want to repeat yourself in any one paragraph using the same word. You can use different words to replace and expand and intentionally show your control of the language. So they give you some examples here. People's lifestyles have changed because of new technology, but also people's habits and behaviors. Okay, same kind of meaning. Okay, similar to lifestyles, habits and behaviors have changed because. And then you can a synonym can have a more general meaning or a more specific meaning. So you need to know the difference between follow and obey. In this case, they're pretty close. They mean the same thing in this sentence. Okay, follow the rules of the road, obey the rules of the road. Okay, but if you change the context of the surrounding words, you might end up with a different sentence altogether. Follow is more general because it means to do what you are told. Obey is more specific because it suggests that you must do what you are told. Okay. So if someone says follow me, then that might be a choice, right? But if someone says obey me, they're asking you in a very harsh way to do exactly what they say. But in the case of this, the rules of the road are it's also closer to legal and illegal, so they're similar enough to have an understated reference to each other. We can restate using these synonyms, okay, from the box, the words in bold. And then categorize, look for the synonyms in bold again. Write G next to the sentence that use a more general synonym, and write S for using a more specific synonym. So they do give you an example here, opportunity and freedom. Which one is more general, opportunity? Which one is more specific, freedom? Okay, so you might want to think about how these words are different before you answer the question. Okay, there's more practice on activity 9 online. And the next section is writing. And I'm going to stop there because there are things to talk about. Okay. Summary, and I think they give an example about gathering ideas to identify and plan and write a paragraph. But this is not a writing class. Again, I don't want to give you too much to do. Plan and write. Revise and edit. If you really do enjoy improving your written skills and you have time, this is a great activity to go through. They go through parallel structures as well, where you're using the same grammatical structure to list ideas in a sequence. That was page 75. It's definitely, if you're interested in improving your written English, you are welcome to finish the unit and take pictures of each page, send them in to me, and I will definitely, it's going to be stuck on your account as proof of your and examples of your efforts. So it's definitely worth doing if you are inclined, if you can. I won't be able to grade your finished product, your finished paragraphs for the unit question, but I will be able to look at your work and give you extra points if needed, where in case of a tie with another student, those students who have done the most work over the course of the semester will certainly get the higher grade. Okay. Anyway, there's a self-assessment and some reflections where you can consider what you've done and learned in this unit. You have the whole week, as usual, all right, to get through these pages. Please do not wait to the last second to put in your assignment. You certainly don't want to lose marks for giving yourself 10 minutes before the bell, okay, and being late because of a technical problem. Aim if it's Monday morning, if it's due Monday morning, aim for Sunday night, okay? And if anything does occur, I mean at the latest, right? If anything does occur, then you can figure out the problem or switch to another computer or get a hold of me on Monday morning and we can discuss it. But I can't help you if you're saying I ran into a mistake at 10:50 and when it's due at 11. Alright, and again, you can track your success, how well you thought you did and what you learned. The next page, of course, is our next unit, so we're going to stop before we get into marketing. So yeah, do your best, guys. I can see that there's a lot of you putting in a really tremendous amount of effort. I know it seems like it is a lot of pages, but again, you have the week, and I will be helping you with your previous efforts on Unit 2 this Wednesday or Thursday, whenever we meet on Zoom. And you can write me, of course, anytime. Edmodo is best if you have any questions. I hope you don't. I hope everything is going smoothly. I hope all of you are comfortable with both Edmodo and your online workbook. And yeah, just remember screenshots of your gradebook, so I know you've done the online work. And try to keep your student book photographs, just regular JPEG is best. Okay. Some of you are sending them on a PDF, which is fine as well. I can scroll through it very quickly and enlarge your work as well. Different formats seem to be working for different students very well. And just give yourself enough time to have a product that you are happy with, and remember, it stays on the computer for the rest of the year, actually years to come. So do your best to hand in something that you're proud of, so that you can get a perfect score and there's no possibility of you being late and you get it, okay? And then you just have to review and study for the final tests. All right, so that's it for today. I hope all of you have a wonderful week, and I think it's going to warm up this week. That should be even better. And we'll see you all soon on Zoom. Okay, thanks guys. Bye for now.